Welcome to Forward Fest. We are so glad you are here engaging with some of the bold ideas and forward thinking that make Princeton the special place that it is. My name is Liu Chen, Program Manager for Trend Arts at Princeton, Director of the Trend Youth Orchestra, and member of the Great Princeton Class of 2019. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2nd of December's Forward Fest offerings, the Performing Arts Showcase. As we know, performing artists of every kind, dancers, actors, singers, instrumentalists, have been challenged by 2020 and the need to remain socially distanced from performing spaces, collaborators, and audiences alike. But instead of just making do during this time, faculty and students at Princeton have asked, what can we do in this period that we might not have otherwise done? How can we create something special out of this moment? The sampling of the creative work that we present to you in this showcase is, indeed, special. We have assembled works from classes, theses, and special passion projects across dance, film, music, even the visual arts. They are thinking forward their craft, and we are so pleased they have shared that with us. As you watch, we hope you will share your thoughts across social media with #PrincetonForward. Just as the first December Forward Fest academic session engaged Princeton faculty members on how the humanities help us uncover what it means to be human, the first 3 pieces in our arts showcase probe the ideas of who you are, who you will become, and who we are together. In the fall 2020 course, Dance in the Site-Specific Space, Senior Lecturer in Dance at the Lewis Center for the Arts, Rebecca Lazier, asked her students to share site-based performance projects built from research into their communities. Each project traces different intersections of personal, cultural, and geographic stories with movement, dance, and performance. In creating and performing Becoming Ren, Z, Crystal Liu, class of 24, considered the elements of a street in New York's Chinatown, along with various sides of her identity. The second piece is a short film interview from the Princeton University Art Museum with Maria Barrio, who was selected to create an original piece of visual art for the Elfers Reading Room of Firestone Library. The Ogre, a large-scale collage composed of hundreds of pieces of colored and patterned papers, depicts a pensive woman beneath a whirling flock of birds in flight. In this film, she discusses her artistic process, as well as the ideas that she hopes viewers will take from the piece about the interdependence of humankind and nature, and embracing moments of transition. And lastly, in this section, singer-songwriter Molly Truman, class of 23, shares a song that she penned after attending a Black Lives Matter event in June 2020, and produced for Hand in Hand, a virtual benefit concert for equity and justice in arts education, organized by the Glee Clubs of Princeton, Yale, and Harvard universities. She was joined in this recording, made virtually from home, by members of the Princeton University Glee Club.
With 1,000 paper cranes. With 1,000 paper cranes. With nights of missed family dinners. Without a mother's embrace for 8 years. Without a father's for 17. With a 1-bedroom apartment in Chinatown. With a radiator in the back corner. At times sprinkling hot water against the white tainted walls. The rusted stovetop, the broken doorknob, without invites to my home because of the foreign scene, embarrassment, and unwarranted pity. mapo tofu, wobbly silken cubes awash in a numbing and spicy pool of fiery mala, without the tangy texture because I've been away too long and my tongue turned gray. With blisters from mucking bars, with cuts from falling on turf, with my first hello and thank you butchered, with elementary school kids jeering, with my apology rejected when I accidentally bumped into some 5th grade girls, with the response, sorry isn't good enough. With a sustained mentality that nothing will be enough. With doubts and insecurities, with time passing by and everyone moving through, without fear, without alarm, even when my mom stops coming home from work, or when I walk alone the streets of Times Square, without restriction when I dig my toes into the concrete floor and wrap my arms around my torso, with movement and music, with heavy breaths and muffled babbles, with one voice reminding me to smile through each day, with learning to be human, 1,000 paper cranes and 1,000 scars.
I think one of the most powerful things that art can do is to touch other worlds. Like a lot of my pieces, sometimes the starting point starts with a myth or a story. I am very intrigued in ancient beliefs, our ancient ways of thinking that provide some sort of hope to human existence. Let's say with the piece on prison, I was researching Ogreism, and the piece is titled The Ogre, and it talks about how people believe that the flight of birds will determine their destiny. I thought that was a very powerful story to think about how we have lost that kind of source of connection to nature to guide us in anything. When I started to make collage, it was so foreign. I was like, how am I gonna create a whole painting with paper, And then slowly I discovered different ways, and I started thinking of collage even for the narratives of the work, So it has inspired me to think of the concept as also different things coming together in a piece. There's so many different things you can do with collage. I can create these very ethereal worlds. A sheet of paper can be a sky, can be a forest. So then the world becomes very dreamlike because of the material. The way I see the figure in the work is very similar to the way I dream. So the figures live in these imagined worlds. The imaginary part to me is the most exciting place because it inspires me to create more. A lot of the people I paint are from everywhere. Like a lot of my characters are more spirit than flesh. So I want to create kind of like a new, like a multicultural being. So a lot of them like carry different traditions. So in a way, the piece also talks about that, migrating. Like a lot of my people seem in a moment of transition, like going from one place to another. As I'm creating the story and as I'm creating the piece, certain parts of the composition change or mandate how the story is going to be told. In the piece of the Ogre, I thought about like the birds having to be like them, like that you focus on the birds, you know, that you focus on the flight. So then that's why like in the composition they're kind of larger. I wanted to create a sense of flight, and it was very challenging because I was working with paper, so I know I can do it with drawing, but how can you create motion with collage? And then I started thinking about the humans, and then that's where like you're gonna see the flight of the birds, and then you're gonna see like in the front of the piece you're gonna see a group of kind of like a family or like a group of people. Yeah. I want to communicate a sense of like hope in transitory spaces. You can go anywhere you want, not only physical but like emotional. Like your flight is endless.
I know that I will never feel what you're feeling, and I know that I will never understand the pain. I hate that I have taken so long just to listen, and I hate that I am just beginning to open up. I won't sleep soundly until you're set free. This is a world that never seems to get it right. This is a world that moves a beat behind the clocks. We are a world that's ready for the changes. We are a world that's dying for the changes. We are the world that won't be waiting anymore. I won't sleep soundly until you're set free. We are the world, we're ready for the changes. We are the world, we won't be waiting anymore. We are the world, we're ready for the changes. We are the world, we won't be waiting for nothing anymore. We are the world, we're ready for the changes. We are the world, we won't be waiting anymore. We are the world, we're ready for the changes. We are the world, we won't be waiting for nothing anymore. Sleep soundly until you're set
The 4 pieces in the middle segment of the showcase feature a range of genres. This fall, lecturer of dance at the Lewis Center for the Arts, Francesca Harper, recognized that art would help us preserve our current moment and encourage students in her course, Emergence and Discovery, Digital Dance Portraits, to develop personal dance films that would forever document a unique moment in their life story. Liam Lynch's Endurance reflects, through his interaction with an urban setting, both isolation and reemergence. When we all reemerge and return to campus, you will be able to visit 2 new works by the internationally acclaimed artist Maya Lin, commissioned for the grounds adjacent to Princeton's Lewis Center for the Arts. We include in the showcase a video showing the undulating spine of the Princeton Line and the 11-foot diameter elliptical granite water feature Einstein's Table, surrounded by 7 spheres reminiscent of our planetary system. We transition from this real-life footage to a unique melding of the physical and imagined. Presented as part of his visual art senior thesis project, Seb Benzakri's short film Heirloom is an animated journey through the history of a piece of fabric, blending stop-motion and rotoscope animation to bring to life moments in time across 200 years of American history. And finally, in this segment, a sweet treat from the Department of Music. Clarinetist and lecturer of music Joanne Sternberg and her clarinet studio students created a compilation of Tiger Rag, a piece which the group has frequently chosen to conclude their ensemble performances throughout their time at Princeton. Everyone recorded from a distance in April in dedication to the class of 2020 and in loving memory of the Department of Music's production manager, Brian Logan.
The lead singer. What a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to our show. Thank you. You've been on this
pictures and then but when we started the book
the most effectual podcast whose intellectual close friends get to call him DC, providing it with dignity. The indisputable leader of the game. He's the one, he's a myth, he's a championship, he's the most tip-top, top, yeah.
Totally unconfirmed reports that German warships were fighting Allied landing ships around the Seine estuary 80 miles from the South England coast, and that Allied paratroops were being landed. 2 hours later, while the Germans continued to broadcast the reports in services beamed to foreign stations, but not to listeners in German-dominated Europe, the Supreme Headquarters of General Eisenhower had made no comment. The AP machine has just come in with another bulletin. I've made my way over to this side of the room again, and it says, Bulletin London, June 6 AP. The Berlin Radio said today that, quote, combined British-American landing operations against the western coast of Europe from the sea and air are stretching over the entire area between Cherbourg and Le Havre. Now, there have been two rounds.
Our final segment runs the gamut, as the title of the first piece suggests. Led by former Merce Cunningham Dance Company member and lecturer of dance at the Lewis Center for the Arts, Silas Reiner, class of '06, the course and resulting dance, entitled Run the Gamut, engages Princeton students in Cunningham's innovative dance-making processes and methods, and demonstrates how they can be used to create surprising and compelling dances with their dancers. By recreating and adapting Cunningham's methods of dance making and taking advantage of new and evolving digital platforms during this time of social distancing, the piece provides for conversation between formalism and abstraction in dance. The next offering is an excerpt from a new digital initiative conceived by multiple Grammy Award-winning mezzo-soprano Joyce DiDonato in association with Princeton University Concerts and the University Musical Society of the University of Michigan. Sing for Today features DiDonato responding to current events and global concerns through the lens of song and conversation with students and other artists in a series of short videos. In the first installment of her virtual residency, DiDonato spoke with students involved in election advocacy and offered this rendition of Woody Guthrie's This Land is Your Land, with additional words she penned for our current times. And lastly, we present a fittingly titled dance piece, While We Wait. Like Liam Lynch earlier, Renako Campbell, class of '21, created a dance film, this time indoors, to commemorate the experiences of the past year and to explore the notions of isolation and emergence.
Hi, I'm Marna Seltzer, Director of Princeton University Concerts, and what you are about to hear is the first installment of Sing for Today, a digital project that we launched earlier this fall with the wonderful mezzo-soprano Joyce DiDonato. Sing for Today explores the intersection of song and contemporary issues. Our first video looked at patriotism and was released shortly before the election. Here's an excerpt of the video. To see the full video, you can visit our website at princetonuniversityconcerts.org. Enjoy!
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said, no trespassing. But on the back side, it didn't say nothing. Oh, that side was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, in the shadow of a steeple, by the relief office, I saw my people as they stood there hungry. I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? I stood and waited in the line for hours to make my voice heard, to claim my power, to cast my ballot, to do my duty. This land was made by you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking on that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me.
Thank you for joining us for Forward Fest, and thank you to all of the performers and campus partners who helped us pull this together for you. To find out more about the creativity and resilience of these and other forward thinkers at Princeton, visit forwardthinking.princeton.edu. There, you can access more content, including a downloadable resource guide that will help you dive deeper into the interdisciplinary world of the arts and humanities, and notices of future Forward Fest programming. Until next time, keep up the forward thinking.